That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
Shots. There are shots fired. We were going down.
Yeah, we might be there. We'll talk to you. Go down. Okay.
I'm here. There are shots fired.
Get in.
Today, but this obviously comes just a couple of weeks after.
All right, so by now everyone knows what happened at the White House today, but I actually wanted to talk about the 21-year-old suspect, Nasir Best, who is deceased. I am curious to know what everyone thinks about the...
Yes, if you have been following me, you realize when this incident happened, I said I usually don't like to report videos when things like this are happening. I always want to wait to see when all the informations are out. The kind of things Democrats were putting out on social media, like, oh, this was staged, oh, this, it get me furious. Now the information is coming out about these guys. Some of these people are already deleting tweets and videos. That should tell you a lot. Someone said these same journalists that are always there to instigate people, they are panicking like...
You know, this shit is really starting to get out of hand, and I'm happy that our president is safe.
All right, so by now everyone knows what happened at the White House today, but I actually wanted to talk about the 21-year-old suspect, Nasir Best, who is deceased. I am curious to know what everyone thinks about the different punishments and sentences that he has had based on his behavior in the past. So just to give you a little background on that, beginning June of 2025, he was arrested for blocking the street around the White House and proclaiming that he was God. At that point in time, the Secret Service arrested him, but he was committed to a psychiatric institution for evaluation. In July of 2025, he was arrested again for blocking a driveway into the White House complex. A judge essentially said, well, he didn't brandish a weapon, even though he had this prior history. Therefore, I'm just going to tell him to stay away from the White House. And so that was essentially what was in place. So during the course of the investigation for the June 2025 and July 2025 incident, the investigators found on his social media that he was saying that he was essentially the next Osama bin Laden and that he wanted to potentially do harm to President Trump. But again, the judge stated that since he hadn't used any of the prior offenses, that he wasn't dangerous. So I guess my question is just because someone doesn't have a weapon, does that not mean that they don't have the potential to do harm and that their behavior may not escalate, especially when we see instances so close together? And yes, okay, we have about a year gap between this last incident and this, but I guess my concern was the committing to, the evaluation to the psychiatric institution and then the stay away order enough given what he had done and the threat that he potentially posed? Because in this case, you have Secret Service officers who were shot at, but it was a bystander who's also in critical condition. And so he's not just a threat necessarily to the president and to the White House, but he is potentially a threat to innocent civilians around. And so I think that raises the question of, do we need to look at different types of punishments and sentences for individuals who habitually, I guess, do things like this.
Yes, if you take a look at these, the G-man who opened fire near the White House on Saturday afternoon has been identified as 21-year-old Nasir Best of Maryland. He was shot by Secret Service agent and he passed away on his way to the hospital. Best allegedly had multiple prior encounters with the Secret Service and had a history of mental health issues. Best was detained by Secret Service on June 26, 2025 for flagging down agents and making threats, and again on July 10, 2025 for entering a restricted area, Fox News has learned. That should tell you something, right?
Every time I take a break, somebody pops off near Wigs R Us. 21-year-old Nasir Best. Reports are saying he is the gun in the latest shooting near the White House. And for once they're reporting it that this black man did have mental health issues. And that this is not Nasir's first altercation with Secret Service. The first one happened last year around June. And I guess he was put on some type of list. Reports are saying that he confronted Secret Service and then shit popped off. And from the look of these reporters,
Safe.
This is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that
Yes, a lot of people will see this like a joke. It is not. This is someone that they realize he's a danger to the society, but they still allow this person to be moving up and look at the harm he was about to cause here. Let me not even say about he caused already, because there is an innocent person that is in the coma in the hospital. That should tell you a lot. To me, these people should have a certain kind of punishment. Yeah, maybe lock them up somewhere and keep them under strict observations. Yeah. Imagine what the judge did. If this could have escalated, maybe innocent people go down as a result of he is a threat to the society, right? I understand that politics is always involved in things like this until something bad happens, but care it should be taken. It is getting out of hand, like I said on one of my videos. The kind of threat Trump has received, and they continue to attempt on his life. What motivated this guy to be thinking to take out the president? I saw a lot of information coming out on his social media accounts. Everything he's putting out is threatening the president. And they still don't see any problem with that. That is where my issue is. It's frightening sometimes when these people allow this kind of person to move freely on the street. You know, I don't want to even prolong this video. I just wanted to give you this update so you can understand exactly what actually happened, because I put out this video, I did not even know exactly what was going on. As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for White House. You can always skip.
We do have breaking news. CNN reporters heard what appeared to be dozens of shots near the White House a short time ago. Julia Benbrook is now inside in the press briefing room.
These are the stories that when I see, sometimes I don't really like to report this breaking news, but with time, I will continue to update you. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out the videos. Keep up the clips and share out.
Is a Democrat.
I love that Chelsea Hand fan.
Seen this city just fall apart.
Mayorship, insurance companies, they don't have to pay for people to rebuild their homes. And they
Baseball. Guys, Nithya Raman is conspiring with Karen Bass.
I just wanted to share how happy I am to be.
The city councilwoman is going to be her runoff opponent.
A long time.
They say they can't just open up these cases with.
Can't keep streetlights on.
To the media, we do not care.
He's elitist in California. Now you realize people everywhere in America make fun of people.
And so this is my life.
You're talking about qualifications, right?
There's been rules in the middle of the game and give himself more Republicans.
Why did this man just disgust me?
They need to go to New York.
Present the black community.
It's illegal.
Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor of Los Angeles,
Able to laugh at him.
Inside, they started.
It'll be
more access to the leader of the free world.
This week, which was the state of Virginia, they gerrymandered the state, and Trump started it.
Well, I said democratic socialist.
I know, but
also, I have to say,
we don't even have the trust of our own people.
People are dead serious about voting for Spencer Pratt to be mayor of LA. A man with no platform, just vibes. A man who hasn't been relevant in over a decade, a failed reality TV star who squandered millions on crystals and other nonsense because he said things like the world was going to end in 2012. And you think that he is equipped to run one of the largest metropolitan cities in the United States? Like, it's not even crazy because people voted for Donald Trump to be president. Like, this is